What is going on? It is the BS Show, and it is the Monday, May 20th edition. I'm Sean Wright. I'm flying solo today. Brad Fowler, the B part of the S to the show, is flying or driving to Kentucky to help one of his kids off the side of the road. So I'm here by myself. I'll be on the Century 21 Wright Realty Facebook page answering any questions you have or comments or concerns or whatever it may be. I'll be there to answer your questions, and we'll get to it. It's a nice sunny day outside, about 90 degrees. It feels good outside. So let's talk about a few things. First, I'm going to go back to we had a trivia question a couple weeks ago about what was the fastest production vehicle in 1976. And for anybody that's watching right now, if you've got a guess, I'll give you one last chance to guess before I spill the beans. So if you want to take a guess, go ahead and take a guess while I am trying to get on the system to answer questions. All right. No takers on that, I guess. The answer, in 1976, the number one production vehicle in America was a 1976 Dodge truck, the Little Red Express. So faster than Corvettes, faster than any other car in America, and I think that includes imports. So 1976 Dodge Little Red Express, fastest production vehicle in 1976. JR Shelby Cobras, 1962 to 1967, so a little bit before that. So that's a little bit of a trivia for you. Little Red Express Dodge truck. They're really cool. Big fire engine red. It's got the two metal stacks going out the step side bed. A bunch of wood, gold trim. Really nice looking truck. I had actually had an 83 Dodge step side truck that I wanted to make into a clone of a Little Red Express, and it never got that far down. So today's top three questions. Top three favorite cookout foods. So you think about, you could have any meats, you could have any vegetables, anything that you would have at a cookout. So you got to be thinking like banana pudding. You got to be thinking hamburgers, hot dogs, steak, ribs, coleslaw, potato salad. What is your top three foods you eat at a cookout? I mean, it can be widespreading. You talk about a couple weeks ago, we talked about the guy that was driving through southern Florida picking up frozen iguanas off the street so he could cook those. Or the guy with the 3.5-foot alligator. I mean, the ideas of what you cook out when you have a cookout are huge, depending on where you are, depending on what your family's used to, things like that. So what are your top three cookout foods? I love banana pudding. It's one of my favorite things to eat. So banana pudding's on there for me. I went to a friend's graduation party from graduating law school. It's probably been 10 years ago now. His wife had actually made banana pudding with Nutter Butters in it instead of vanilla wafers. My wife's made it for me since. But that was like mind-blowing that you would put peanut butter in the banana pudding. I mean, peanut butter banana sandwiches are fantastic. So think about the peanut butter inside the banana pudding. Mind-blowing. It's fantastic. Then you put in ribs and hamburgers and steaks. I mean, the top three cookout foods. I think this is a really interesting one. So put in the comments what you think the top three cookout foods are. Let's discuss that. Let's have a discussion. All right. Got a story to tell. It's one of those things that it happened to me over the weekend, and my wife knew this one was coming. It's like a number one gripe. I almost had to get up and walk out of this restaurant. It was very frustrating. Most likely I'm going on their Facebook page later today to make a complaint. Terrible. I go into BJ's Brewhouse. Yeah, I'm naming names. This is how upset that I was over this. BJ's Brewhouse on Saturday night, and my wife goes, "Why don't you order yourself a drink?" I go, "Look, I'm going to order a beer, I guess." And the waitress comes over and says, "So what will you have?" And I go, "Well, I want whatever special the beer that I ordered. It was some kind of specialty brew." And I go, "Well, we need to see your ID." And I go, "That's fine." I pulled my ID out, and my driver's license is somewhere in my wallet, but it's not like the ID that I pull the most. I pull my carry permit the most. I mean, it's the same number. It's got my age on it. It's government issued. It's just the ID that I can flash it, whatever. And I go up, and the lady IDs me and says, "Sorry, sir, I can't accept that as an ID." And I looked at her like just totally baffled. And I go, what do you mean you can't accept a state-issued ID? It's got the same number as my driver's license. It's got my birth date. It's issued from the state of Tennessee. Why can't you take this? And she goes, well, we can only take a driver's license. And I was like, what if I didn't have a driver's license? What would you take then? And she goes, well, we just can't take that. And I go, that's just totally unacceptable. So what other kind of state-issued IDs do they not take? Do they not take passport? Do they not take a military ID? If they can only take a driver's license, what about all the people who don't drive? What do they take for them? Are they not allowed to drink an adult beverage at their restaurant? It's just mind-blowing. I'm going to write something up because, I don't know if this is a discriminatory thing that they don't like people who have a carry permit. I wasn't carrying in their restaurant. I was there enjoying dinner with my wife and my 2-year-old. So that's just something I just don't understand. That's a rant that I don't get. My wife literally had to turn to me and go, don't let this ruin your meal. Calm down. I'm sure the shade of red that I was when this lady was telling me this was just mind-blowing. I'm not an individual who gets upset, so I don't get mad. I stay real even-keeled. But for her to tell me something like that she couldn't accept a state-issued ID is just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And then she came and she said, well, we're based out of California. We don't believe in things like that. What? You're in Tennessee. I don't care where you're based. We're in Tennessee. We're in the South. People, it's just terrible. Off that rant. So here, set this soapbox over here. All right, Loretta Sharp weighed in. Steak, kebabs, and corn on the cob. I love grilled corn on the cob. Spectacular. That's got to be the only way to cook corn on the cob from now on. It's fantastic. I actually tried roasting it in my oven the other day. That didn't come out quite as good as the grilled stuff. Grilled corn on the cob is definitely the way to go. Steaks, ribeyes, fillets, steaks, yeah, absolutely. So, great. Let's get more input on the top 3 cookout foods. Like I said, banana pudding. Unero numero uno. All right. Listing 425 Shoshone Place in Murfreesboro, 1,260 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse in Murfreesboro. It is right across, the neighborhood's right across the street from the Indian Hills Golf Course. So, you're like less than a mile from I-24. You're right across the street from the golf course. You've got Kroger's right there. You've got Camino Real. You've got several other restaurants. Very, very convenient location. Just very, very convenient. You got Rover stops close, so you could actually get on the Rover. So very, very, very convenient location on this townhome. All right. So I'm going to do news you can't believe right now and then kind of go forward. We usually do it last, but I'm trying to cover the whole show. News you can't believe, Atlanta, Georgia. I didn't go to Florida today. I just wanted to mix it up, go to a different state this time. News from Atlanta, Georgia. A lady is in her van backing into the river on a boat ramp. And I actually read 2 stories of this, and I got a completely different story the first time I read it. I'm going to go with this one because it just sounds so much more realistic. Lady backing down the boat ramp to put her kayak in the water, and a spider falls on her, and instead of putting her van in park and getting out and freaking out, she just bailed out. Van's still in reverse. She's trying to dump her kayak in the water. She just bails out and does the roll out over here to the left, and the van just keeps going. And she said she just watched it float down the river until about 100 yards. It just was fully gone and fully submerged and gone. They said other boaters went by, tried to find the van. It's totally gone in this river. What kind of river in Atlanta is that deep? Atlanta is still griping at Tennessee about us stealing their water. Atlanta, if you got water that's that deep that vans can disappear with no trace, you don't need any Tennessee water. You stay down there in Georgia. The insurance company is now involved and says they're going to send a dive team down to try to find this van. Go ahead. Maybe a giant catfish ate it. There's all those rumors about these giant catfish all over the South that live near the dams and how they just go underneath the dam and just catch stuff that flows out of the dam. So maybe one of those giant catfish ate this lady's van. So who knows, but a disappearing van for the news you can't believe. This lady actually freaked out enough because a spider fell on her leg that the van's gone. Oh well. 9010 Nathaniel drives in Laverne, 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhouse. It's in Cottages of Lake Forest. It's on the main drag of the Lake Forest cottages. It's about 1,150 square foot. It's got a formal living room, formal dining room, galley-style kitchen, a little patio area in the back, centralized mailboxes, and centralized trash. Then, if you're at another real estate company and you're trying to go, man, I'm squandering where I am, I'm not doing what I need to do, or you're the person that said, hey, I've always wanted to be in real estate and I just hadn't made that jump yet, I want to talk to you. I train all of our agents personally, one-on-one. We do coaching sessions, we do team trainings, I do one-on-one trainings. I make sure, and I'm very, very prideful to say that my agents on the field are some of the best trained agents in Tennessee on the field going. We do a referral-based system where we teach you that the customer's always right, the customer's focused, and we want to do the best for the customer. It's not about, hey, I got to sell 1,000 homes a year. It's about doing the best for your customer and the customers knowing that they're important. And I think that's very important. I want my customers to always know that they're number one. So if that's the kind of business model you run and that's the kind of business model that you want to do business with, give me a call and let's talk and let's see how I can help you take your career to the next level. 615-838-0653, 615-838-0653. And that's the discussion today. That's the BS show. Sorry, it was short by myself, so I don't have anybody to go back and forth with. If you got any questions or concerns going forward after you watch the show, put them in the comments, Century 21 Right Realty comment box, and I'll be glad to answer them. But in the meantime, until Friday's show will be late, by the way, probably 1:30, 2 o'clock. I've got to attend a word show for my son for school, so I will be late to the show. But in the meantime, put in the comments, top 3 cookout foods. Cookout foods. I'm going with my top 3. Banana pudding. 2, smoked chicken wings. 3, mustard potato salad. So let's go. I'm only doing 1 meat. I could probably do 5 meats, but I'm going to go with that. If I'm going to expand it out to 5, I'll put ribs in and I'll put steaks in too. So 3, you got them. 5, you got them. Let's talk again Friday. This is the BS show, sponsored by Century 21 Right Realty. We try to talk about everything that's on your mind and ours. And hopefully by Friday we'll have another Murfreesboro rant. I've been trying to go away from it for the last little while just to... So Brad was going, man, I don't need to hear any more Murfreesboro rants. Nah, he didn't really say that. But that's it for the BS show today. Monday edition of the BS show. We still got our little funky beat music going. We got some new buffer music that'll debut next week. It'll make an appearance for 2 episodes, and then it'll go away. 2 weeks from today, we'll be having the BS show live from Mexico. In the meantime, I'm Sean Wright. Brad Fowler is not in that chair. He'll be back on Friday as well. This is the BS show sponsored by Century 21 Right Realty. And as soon as I find my mouse, we'll be